and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what has been going on most recently and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do really appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, you are missing a trick. It's the first place we go to notify you of the ins and the outs of everything that is going on here in the crypto space. It's the first place we go to, so why not check it out? Linked in the description down below. Now, I am going to be using Elliott Theory in this video, and if any of this seems alien to you, then why not check out the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪.com, linked in the description down below. I have created a 21-part video course over on the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪.com website for you guys to get a better understanding of Elliott Theory and to make more sense of the videos on why I say things in a very specific way. It's a lot of rules. It can be confusing at times, so why not check it out? 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪.com linked below. Okay, let's make a start. Cardano paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Now, following on from the previous video, we were looking for 27.27. Okay, that was this high just up here, but it does appear that obviously we kind of met this high here, just briefly higher than the A wave, and we basically started to pull on down. So it does look like we failed to reach that high potential just up here. Now that has an impact on the price appreciation. So we were looking down here between 23.2 and 24.46. So obviously we're talking about the price coming down towards this level, right? And that was based on this fourth wave being slightly higher at 27.27, right? We were expecting it to kind of be up here, but we fell short. So this means that our target is potentially met already. So let's go ahead and check this out right in here. And yeah, we've come down exactly, in fact, to where we need to be. So you can see here, this 1.236 Fibonacci retracement or extension in the case here. And we can see that this wick came down and hit this level. This level specifically right here at 24.20 is the minimum expectation for our fifth wave. So I'll put that little yellow box on there. You can kind of see, if I make it bigger, that the wick here crossed this level. This is incredibly important because this means that we have now theoretically met the minimum expectations of this fifth wave, and we can reverse out of here and we don't have to worry about it terribly too much. I still think though that we're likely to pull on down just a fraction further, so I'm not too concerned about that. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and move our yellow box up into that range, and obviously the lowest expectation on the typical kind of fifth wave movement will be the 1.236 fib extension, and that comes in here at 23.49. So I'll go ahead and move that over into here as well, like so. Okay, 23.49. If I remove the fibs, take them off, you can kind of see that this is our expectation on where that is likely to go. So let's try to finesse this a little bit further and take a look at these sub-wave counts of what is going on here. Now, unusually so, we have a very unusual set of waves in here, right? We can kind of articulate this with probably a trend line would be good. So here we have one. Okay, here's another wave coming down. Oh, and here's another one right in there. Okay, and then another one, just a minor one right there. We then have a slightly bigger major one just in here. And we are probably going to need another one to come on down here. Okay, now why is this important? Well, it's important because we've got a couple of different things that are going on, right? So we'll be looking for 3 waves down and 2 waves up within a single wave, right? Now it's possible that we get overextensions in places, and that's really what we're going to have to kind of look out for here, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of clear structures. Now our minimum expectation would be 5, and if we've got 6, then we're seeing an overextension somewhere. So what we want to do is we want to basically try to figure out where we sit within that structure, because it is a little bit messy. So if we come in here, we can kind of argue maybe there's a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, come up here to wave 4, come down into this, a wave 5, then we reset. So we could look at this as maybe a wave 1, but that does mean that we're going to have to come down significantly deeper than we currently have projected here at 23.49. So we don't want to necessarily think too much about that, but it is a possibility. So that would look, and it's not confirmed yet either. If I go ahead and move this, this kind of structure, thought pattern of structure anyway, would only get validated down here at 23.01. And that would look, let me just zoom out a fraction, it would look like this. It would have a big wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 would have to come all the way down here and so forth. And you can kind of see how that's a little bit overextending out of the expectation and would be a little unusual. So I don't like the idea of that one too much. Let's see if there's another count that might make sense in here. Okay, so we kind of might actually have to bring this down into a 30-minute chart just so that I can kind of see this substructure. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's possible that that's 5 right in there, or that's a wave 1. So let's come back up here a second. Okay, so it's possible that maybe this is a wave 4, and yeah, it's possible that's a wave 4. So we can 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all of this is an overextending 5 possibly. And if that's the case, then we would be looking for yeah, that might actually fit a little bit better. So an overextended 5 like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of this becomes 5. And inside there, we're overextending 1, 2. We'll come down here to 23.79, up for wave 4, and then finally down, and maybe we'll touch on that low at 23.49. Okay, so I think we're going to have to come down, essentially. I don't see us moving out of here. I don't think we've got a complete count just yet. So I'm going to kind of let it kind of play its course and see how it kind of goes. But I do think down is where we're going. From our momentum indicators here, you can see that we've got an hourly chart. The stochastics are reasonably mid-level. It's actually at currently 48, so it's kind of could go up, could go down. It doesn't really matter terribly too much. The 4 hours oversold, the 8 hours oversold. So let's actually bring those up, right? So we come and take a look at that 4 hour. It's nice and low down here, so it's getting ready and primed for a reversal in the market. The 8 hours only just come down to this low level of 0, so a couple more candles on the 8 hour chart, so a day or so being down lower. Could prime that one up quite nicely. The 12 hour still has progression to the downside, so we still can see a bit of room to the downside here. So that lines up with thinking that we haven't finished our 5th wave just yet. The same with the 16 hour. The 20 hour is the same, and the daily is about midway through moving upwards. So again, can pull back down briefly here. The weekly is okay. It's in a pretty good position, but again, we don't have to move up right away. So that's interesting. So ultimately, yeah, I would say we've still got to come down. And I'm going to kind of put it out there to say that we're going to be on the lower end of this. And if we are overextending, we do not have to follow these rules where we get confined to the 1.236 to 1.618 fib extensions. So we can come down a fraction lower if we need to than 23.49. But I'm going to kind of leave that one in there to say that that's where we kind of should be aiming and should be thinking about right now. And as we kind of think about the lows, we have 22.23, which seemed like such a long time ago since I mentioned 22.23 cent, and yet still it's on the radar, it's still here, and it still has that potential to kind of come into fruition, and we're getting closer to it. So everything's looking pretty good for Cardano if we're thinking about dollar cost averaging. But I say it, and I say it again, anything lower than 30 cent to me just seems like an absolute bargain. But here we are, lower than 25 cents. So dollar cost averaging into Cardano's ADA, I don't think is a bad idea. If I was in the market for more, I would. Obviously, my bags are reasonably full when it comes to Cardano, so I'm not really looking to buy more. But if this price does break lower than 22, I probably will end up buying more Cardano at those prices. It's insane. So, yeah, dollar cost averaging, I do think is a reasonably good idea in my humble opinion. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. I can only give you my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. So I do think that there's a little bit more room to the downside here to be had. I am still holding a long position from a while back. I do think we eventually are going to be moving up quite significantly. But until we kind of complete these structures, yeah, I think we still have have to go down, and we still have to go down a little bit further, in my opinion. Guys, if you found this useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, linked in the description below. And if you want more information about Elliott Wave Theory, cheekyschool.com, check it out. We are offering not just the video course, but we're also offering coaching, so you can book an hour of time with one of our TA analysts, Cheeky Festoon, who does a lot of the charting down in our Discord server, and you'll get a better understanding of Elliott Wave Theory through that 1 hour coaching experience as well. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.